Hey everyone, welcome to the Soul on Fire show, where we merge science and spirituality and we ignite the passion within. I'm super excited today, guys, because we are going to tap into the energy of love and the energy of receiving. We're going to open up your heart space. We're going to do some yummy meditations at the end of the segments. But today I want to talk about receiving and receiving love, receiving money, receiving abundance, receiving gifts, just receiving in life. And we are going to go deep into the energy of receiving. As you can see, I have set up a beautiful, warm environment. And the reason for that is because receiving really is the divine feminine. And we're going to go deep into what the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies look like, and how you actually merge the two to receive. Today, we are going to go deep, deep, deep into your heart space. We are going to open up your heart space. I come to you from my home, and thank you so much for being here on the live, and thank you for being on the replay. I'm super, super excited because we get to tap into my favorite subject, which is love, right? We get to tap into the vibration of love. We get to open up your heart space. We get to see from a different perspective of where you are and where you want to be, and how the vibration of love just comes through with every ounce of my being to you, and hopefully opening up your heart space today. So today we're going to literally tap into the energy of receiving. We're going to talk about what that looks like. We're going to talk about how to actually transmute into the energies of love, and how to stay into the vibrations of love, how to expand your heart space so you can truly, truly feel awakened. And so those of you that know me, my name is Noelle Agape, and I'm a leading expert in health, wellness, and consciousness. I am an NLP trainer. I am a quantum energy trainer, and we play deep into the quantum fields. But today we're going to go deep into the personalness of the personalness. We're going to go deep into the heart space. We're going to go into getting personal. We're going to go deep into understanding what that's like, right? And so when you have an open heart, you get to receive. You get to live life from this joyful, blissful, beautiful place. And for those of you that don't know me, I am a unicorn, and I live my life in love. And there are many obstacles, and there are many things that stand in my way, but I always find my way back to love. Always, always find my way back to love. So today we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful heart opener activation. We're going to activate your heart. We're going to get deep into what it looks like when your heart is open, and how you live life in this beautiful realm. And I have a couple surprises coming for you guys in the next coming weeks. We are going to do something a little bit different. And so I am still going to teach science and spirituality. We're going to merge the two, and we are also going to play a little bit. And so that is tapped into why I'm talking about that today, is because the vibration of love also comes from play. And so the first and foremost thing that you can do is understand of where you are, right? I speak about this all the time, is being the observer in your life. And when you have an opportunity to actually sit down and watch this in a space that's sacred, in a space that's beautiful and warm and open, where you can actually receive what I'm sending out to you, I think that would be the best. If you are driving, then later on there will be an activation. Now you can listen to the teaching aspect of it, but later on there will be an activation. So I ask you not to be driving for that. Yet, when we tap into the energy of receiving, it's such a beautiful gift, because it is the divine feminine, and the divine feminine is intuitive, it's warm, it's comfort, it's love, it's nurturing. It is this beautiful goddess energy. And men and women have the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies within them. And so when your energies are not balanced, how it looks often is many times from past trauma in our childhood, we put energetic blocks around our heart. We in our subconscious mind, we go deep and say, oh no, if we open up to love, it will actually hurt us, right? We've been hurt in the past, whether it was from, a bad relationship, or even mostly from your parents. your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between where you are and where you were. It doesn't know past, present, and future. It only knows that it needs to go into protective mode. It only knows that it needs to help you. It only knows that it needs to show you that if you have your heart open, you're vulnerable. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to open up your heart space. We are going to talk about being vulnerable. We're going to talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies and balancing those. We're going to talk about how it looks like when all of those are out of balance, right? And so when your life is out of balance and you're not receiving, that is actually not you being tapped into your God source universe, right? So the God source universe is tapping into you all day, every day, and they are pouring love into you all day, every day. The opportunity to receive is such a great opportunity. Always, all day, every day, you get to receive love, you get to receive abundance, you get to receive health and well-being, you get to receive the greatest life that you want to live. You actually just get to choose that. And so often we block that from it coming in. How do we do that? We block it from traumas, past traumas in our childhood. And when we understand that our inner child is 90% of the dialogue that is showing up in our external world. And I speak about this all the time on this channel, is that your external reality is only emanating what's going on within you. And if you don't have the ability to allow and receive love in, what happens often is you find yourself in lack, whether it's through financial lack or physical lack, where it's sickness or health or something, or in relationships, you find yourself a lot in toxic relationships. You find yourself a lot in relationships that are not serving you. When you understand that receiving love is a powerful force because it's how much you love yourself, that is the most important thing that you can do. You can understand that you get to balance your energies. You get to understand the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You get to understand the chakra system and your aura. And that's what we speak about on this channel, is we go deep into merging science and spirituality on a higher level. The biochemical level of what happens when you feel loved is such a beautiful gift. That when, even if someone likes you on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever it may be, that actually shoots a chemical in your body. It's oxytocin and serotonin and dopamine. And what happens often is that when you fall in love, you get attached to that and even codependent upon that chemical within your body, right? And so the chemical feeling of love is so beautiful, and this chemical feeling of receiving is so beautiful that we get addicted to that. But what happens so often is our subconscious and our unconscious have this distorted view of what love's supposed to be like. And when you understand that unconditional love, agape love, right, is coming from a place of spiritual maturity and coming from a place of not from the ego. And there is very different. There's the phileo love, the agape love, and I believe there's one other. But the agape love is the highest form of love, and that is receiving love unconditionally. And when you understand that you get to receive love, you get to receive abundance, you get to receive health, you get to receive from someone. Because all those distorted stories that your subconscious mind has eventually told you when you're a child, from 0 to 7, we are literally programmed to believe whatever environment is around us. And so I just want you to stop for a minute. And again, this is one of the shows that you might want to go back and when you're in a sacred space and watch over again, because 1, we're going to have an activation, but 2, this is really truly, this is about you and understanding how to receive and not just how to manifest the life of your dreams, but also to truly receive it and embrace it. And so the components of that is really understanding where you are at. And if you look at your life as an observer, and if you look at your life from your future self, go in, and I want you to take a moment, and I just want you to think about yourself as your future self and spend some time in what you really want in life and what you want to receive. And so many times, not from a distorted egoic point of view, but really truly from a place where you know that it is the greatest and highest good for you and all that's coming in. right? And so if you stop and you observe where you are in your life, right? In every area of your life, where are you in your finances, in your health, in your spirituality, in your connection to your purpose? Where are you in service? Where are you in love? In every area of your life, if you do an evaluation of where you are, right? That is the first place where it'll show you where you're not receiving love. And so from that space, you get to understand that you gain an understanding of the story that was told to you. And so if you go back to your childhood, how is love in your household? Were you raised in a beautiful, loving environment? Were you raised in an abundant environment? Were you raised in a toxic environment, right? And so what happens often is that our subconscious mind, again, between 0 and 7, is like, no, this is how love is supposed to be. This is how we're supposed to receive. We're not worthy enough of receiving, or I'm not lovable. I'm not safe in this environment, so I really can't love. I'm going to just put a wall around my heart, and I'm going to either not let love in completely, or I'm going to let toxic love in, or I'm going to just receive. And then many times, and this is when your chakras are not in balance, is when you receive, because you've opened up to that space to receive, but then it goes right out, right? And so that's mostly when your sacral chakra is out of balance, and your sacral chakra is your divine feminine. We'll go more into that into the later segments. But today, again, guys, we're going to go deep into receiving. We're going to go deep into love. We're going to go deep into understanding what self-love looks like, how that truly is such a beautiful gift to this world. You are love. You are light. Every one of you is a beautiful form of divinity within you. And when you understand that there's an infinite amount of possibilities, and there is not a story attached to it, and your inner child is the dialogue that's going on in your inner child, you get to be the observer of your life, and you get to be the observer of your life from a place of non-judgment. And that is the most important thing of receiving, is that when you understand that you're not coming from a place of judgment, you're coming from a place of knowing that you are God's source and the universe, and you are connected at the highest level. That is the most beautiful love that you can ever receive. I'm going to have tips and takeaways in just a minute. Today's show is sponsored by my company, Noelle Agape Global, which we have Infinite Wellness, which is a component of Noelle Agape Global that is all things health, wellness, and consciousness. We have from yoga to the quantum, and we have all free things for you, as well as practitioners at noelleagape.com. And we will be right back, guys. Today, our show is sponsored by Infinite Wellness, and we're going to show you who they are. We'll be right back. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show with me. Thank you for those that are watching live, and thank you for those that are watching on the replay. Today we are talking about receiving love, receiving abundance, and receiving the life of your dreams. The receiving energy is such a beautiful gift because we get to enjoy and embrace this life. And our soul has jumped in here and said, hey, I want to experience this life and I want to expand. And so our soul doesn't know the difference between experiencing and expanding. Our only mission is to experience and expand, right? So our soul doesn't understand if it's good or if it's bad. Our subconscious mind doesn't know if it's the past, present, or future. Our subconscious mind doesn't know if something is good or bad. All we know is the stories that have been implemented in our subconscious brain. Right. And again, from 0 to 7, your brain is so malleable. And what I did ask in the opener is I asked you to stop and think about your childhood. Think about the environment of where you had, were you receiving a lot? Were you receiving a lot of love? Were you receiving a lot of money? Did you feel safe? Did you feel loved? Did you feel secure? Did you feel protected? And those are those most important components of receiving, guys. If you don't feel safe in the environment, you're definitely not going to receive. If you don't feel loved or lovable, if you don't feel worthy or good enough, those are the primary core beliefs that our subconscious has developed. And what happens often is that we get to go into our younger child and we get to heal that. But so many people get caught up in the victimhood. So many people get caught up in the fact that they were, abused as a child, or they came from poverty, or they, it was whatever happened in their childhood, their adult life is being really emanated by their childhood life. And so receiving has such a beautiful gift to it when you understand that receiving is not just the car or the man or the house, which is wonderful. I mean, you guys know, I absolutely love luxury. I love beauty. I love love. I love love from my highest realms. And my journey of agape love was, I had to, because I was sexually abused when I was younger, and because I was, came from my father was an abusive alcoholic, and my mom was a single mom. Thankfully, my grandparents had this beautiful soulmate love, and they showed me how to love. They showed me how to have abundance. And so I actually had this polarity where it was like this crazy, chaotic life, and then this beautiful, calm, wonderful life with my grandparents. And so what happened often around my journey of agape love was forgiveness. I had to embody. My soul came in and said, we're going to heal karmic, massive karmic things, and that are ancestral trauma that have come through. And my soul came in and said, okay, so what you is being presented to you, there's an opposite of that, and you get to learn that, and you get to teach it, right? So through the hardship of my childhood, I didn't really understand receiving love. I didn't understand that it was okay to love myself. I didn't understand that it was okay to shine. I didn't understand that it was okay to live my life in abundance, because the people that were in my life, and they came from, know that the people that are in your life are only teaching you. They're not, and they don't know any better. They're just coming from their place of consciousness. And when you come from that space and you're the observer of your own life, right, you get to understand. I get to live a life of beauty and luxury and abundance and travel, and be with, the man of my dreams and everyone that I've ever experienced in this life, because of my journey through the hardships, right? And so I got to experience poverty, and I got to experience, sickness. I got to, my grandfather died right in front of me, and he was my hero. My father died of a heart attack. My mom had cancer, and all of my mom's now 14 years cancer free, but I got wellness from sickness. And so, but I didn't know how to receive love at the highest realm. I didn't know how, I thought that it was so amazing. If I worked really, really hard, I would become the person that everybody wanted me to do. I did everything right. I went to, the right school. I got the right graduate degrees. I did everything that everyone was supposed to do, right? I married what seemed to be the perfect man, and I had beautiful children, and I had this beautiful life. And from that space, that's when everything started to crumble, right? Was when all of a sudden this self-love and the deserving of it went into effect. And often what happens is when you come from a place that your child, your inner child, doesn't believe that you can receive love, often you can receive things, love, man, the house, the car, the boat, whatever it may be, but you don't feel worthy enough to either keep it, or you don't feel worthy enough to be on that journey. And so self-sabotage comes into play so often with receiving. And so self-sabotage is an energy that you create within you and within your energy systems. Your subconscious and unconscious mind develop a belief around something. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not lovable. I'm not safe, secure, and protected. And then from that space, if something comes in and you do receive it, and you have the capacity to receive, which we'll talk about in the next segment, is allowing the capacity to receive, which means that energetically and emotionally and spiritually and mentally, you have to actually clear space out to receive. So what happens often is when you self-sabotage, you go into this space of, the ego says, I'm going to protect you, right? And so the ego doesn't know how to truly love. And I'm going to say that again. The ego doesn't know how to truly love. The ego knows how to stay safe. The ego knows how to protect you, think it protects you. The ego doesn't know or understand agape love. The ego doesn't understand unconditional love. The ego doesn't understand giving without receiving sometimes. The ego doesn't understand receiving without giving sometimes. It's really, the ego sets you up for failure on purpose, though. And the ego is not a bad thing. And I teach this all the time, is that when you work with your ego instead of work against your ego, it is this beautiful gift that you have, right? And so your ego is going to come up to show you your soul lessons that you get to expand and experience from. And so it's never a battle between you and the ego. It's just an awareness. Oh, right here, I was feeling fearful. I was self-sabotaging in that space. Okay. And again, I want you to go back and I want you to think about what you have done in your past, right? In your past life, not past lives, but which is a whole nother show, but your past, your earlier childhood. What happened to you specifically with the masculine in your life, the masculine in your life, right? Because that's really going to define your divine masculine energies. What was going on with your father figure in your life? Your father is the first example of what the divine masculine is supposed to be. The divine masculine in its power is strength. It is a motivation. It is action. It is movement. It is protection, right? And if you didn't have that in your childhood, and you had poverty, and you felt there was scarcity, and you didn't feel safe, you didn't know where your next meal was going to come, or you were abused, something like that, then from that space, that's what's going to get into your subconscious mind about what the divine masculine and wounded masculine looks like, right? And so you're going to attach to the wounded masculine energies if that's all you've learned. From that space, you get to see your mother figure, which is the divine feminine. Again, it's not a masculine, it's not a feminine and masculine thing where it's a male-female thing. You could have two mothers, you could have two fathers, but there's always one that is more dominant in the masculine energies and one that is more dominated in the feminine energies, right? And so, or you may not have had either, and that would trigger you as well. So the feminine energies, when they are in alignment, they are nurturing, they are loving, they are caring, they are warm, they are intuitive, they are creative, and they are the thought, right? And then the thought and to receive. And it is the divine feminine is 100% receiving energy. When it is out of balance, it is very needy. It is very toxic. It is it's very whiny. It is very codependent energies, right? And so when you understand that your parents, whoever they may have been or lack thereof of parents, is your story around receiving, right? So your subconscious mind has already programmed before you have even come out of what the masculine and feminine energies are supposed to feel like within you. The greatest thing in the world, guys, is that we get to choose. We get to choose to not be our parents. We get to choose to live in a different space. We get to choose to love from a different place, from a different capacity. Again, my childhood does not describe who I am today in any way, shape, or form. I am nothing like what I thought I was supposed to be, right? I was the one that was the overachiever to receive, right? I never felt good enough. I never felt worthy enough. I never felt lovable enough. So I would do everything above and beyond. I would be, salutatorian, and I had straight A's, and I was a 5-star athlete on 5 sports. And I did everything in my power to not be like the divine feminine and the divine the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine that I grew up with. And so in this beautiful space, I got to create whoever I wanted to be, right? And so how you do that, right? How do you create a different version of yourself? That's the most important thing, is to understand, is to have an awareness of who you are. Do you like who you are? Is it where you want to be? Are you in your life where you want to be? Are you in a beautiful, loving relationship? Are you happy not being in a relationship? Are you comfortable in yourself enough to know that you don't have to be codependent upon anybody? Do you understand that when you are in a relationship, it's not that person that is giving you love, it is that you are emanating love back and forth to each other, right? Are you in a space where even if you're not in a relationship, you are in a healthy place in your life? Are you financially stable? Are you doing well? Are you receiving money and then it all goes out the door, right? Where are you in your life? If you take an observation of where you are in your life, guys, that is the greatest gift that you can have. You can literally, I have a relationship with love. I have a relationship with fear. I have a relationship with hate. I have a relationship with everything. And people are like, how can you have a relationship with fear and hate? Because you need to understand that if you have a relationship with fate, when anger comes up or hatred comes up, or which doesn't come up very often for me, anger sometimes does, but fear not usually. Why? Because I have gone in and done the inner work, and I know on this channel I ask you to go deep, and I ask you to do the inner work, and I ask you to face those demons. Why? Because you get to transmute. I live this beautiful, gifted life that is not mine. My gifts come through me so I can bring them out to the world. And guys, the greatest thing in the world is that I live this life because I've gone through so much, right? And I come from a place of love, and I come from a place of joy, and I come from a place of abundance because I truly, truly have been at the other end of it. I have been through a divorce. I have been through all of these crazy things in my life, and it has allowed me to choose, because the vibrational fields, right, when we talk vibrations on this channel, is that love and hate, it can't occupy the same space at the same time. So if you have hatred in your heart, or you have anger in your heart, or you have fear in your heart, and that it cannot be occupied by love at the same time, which means that you're blocking yourself from receiving, right? So if you block yourself from receiving, then your heart is not open. And we're going to do a heart opening activity in just a little bit. But if your heart is not open, then you are in a space of life of just kind of going through what you're supposed to go through in life, right? You kind of just show up in life. You don't live blissfully. You don't live joyfully. There is a part of your soul that is detached. There's a part of your spirit that is detached, right? And so from that space, from the space of observation, be raw and real with you. And again, this is, for you to grow and expand. Be raw and real with yourself. Where are you at? Are you in a place where in every area of your life where you want to be? And I teach this on a daily basis, and I am not in a place in every area of my life where I want to be, but every day I wake up and I say, okay, God, how can I be better? What would you like me to bring through me out to the world today? And even if I have problems in a relationship, I'm secure enough to know that I don't need a man in my life. I love having my man in my life. I love having a relationship. I love being in love, but it is not my necessity. And I can't honestly say, raw and real, guys, that's always been the case. I truly believe that I was so codependent upon my ex-husband and so codependent on other relationships where I needed validation. I needed love. I was seeking external love, when all I really had to do was go into my heart space, and I had to open up my heart space. I had to clear my energetic fields, and I had to allow myself in my mind, in my body, in my soul, and my spirit to receive. And if there's not a space for the receiving, guys, you cannot receive. And that is one of my greatest lessons that I had throughout this journey, is that if you don't create the space to receive, you won't receive. And so many people are like, well, how do you do that? Well, stick around, because we're going to do it in just a little bit. And we're going to open up your heart. In the next segment, we're going to show you how to receive. We're going to show you that when you tap into the vibration of love, when you tap into the vibration of receiving, and when you tap into understanding that it's never about you. And so many people are like, wait, receiving is never about me. No, it's never about you. It is about what you can bring out through you out to the world. And so the highest form of receiving is service. And we're going to go deep into that into the next segment when we talk about how service really will change your life, right? And when you come from a place of service, and when you come from a place of understanding that humanity as a whole is here to help you. God, source, universe has your back. You are God, source, universe. You are love and light. When your cup is filled, when you get to live this beautiful life, you get to give that back to the world. So stay tuned, guys, because we are going to tap into your heart's energy, and we're going to go deep, deep, deep into the energetic fields. We're going to clear your energy, and we are going to talk about receiving. I love you guys, and we'll be right back. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching the Soul on Fire show with us, where we literally merge science and spirituality and we ignite the passion within. Today we are talking about the energy of receiving, and we are talking about how you open up your heart space, you open up space to receive. We talked about in the first segment about how your subconscious and your unconscious brain from the ages of 0 to 7 are programmed to believe if you are lovable, if you are worthy, or if you're good enough, or if you're safe, secure, and protected, which is a huge one with receiving, or if you are whole and complete. If in any way you don't feel whole and complete, you don't feel loved, you don't feel lovable, you don't feel worthy, or you don't feel good enough, or you don't feel safe, you will not receive. So we talked about how to actually receive. We talked about understanding and being the observer of your life, understanding that you are not your 4-year-old child, right? You get to choose who you are. You get to understand that the divine masculine and the divine feminine that may have showed up in your life as the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine can always be transmuted into the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And so the divine feminine is the beautiful receiving energy, right? And that's why I have this beautiful warm environment set up for you today, is because when you tap into the energies of the divine feminine, it is so soft and it is so beautiful, and you get to receive, guys. You get to understand that. And again, it's not a male female thing. It is there. Everyone has feminine and masculine energies within them. And so when you understand that the divine feminine is one of the most powerful energies that you could use, it is your sexual energy, and it's this beautiful gift of life. We create life. Literally, we create life with the divine feminine energies, right, within our sacral chakra. And so understanding that you have a energetic system that is stored by your emotions, right? And so it's basically a hub for your emotions. Your energetic systems are your chakra systems. Everyone knows the chakra systems. Many say there's 7 chakras. There's actually hundreds of chakras all over your body. And your heart space is one of the most powerful, right? So you have 3 different brains. You have your subconscious and unconscious monkey brain is what I call it. And then you have your gut, which is your gut health. And that is when we go into the health and the body and shooting the neurotransmitters and the dopamine and the oxytocin and shooting it from your gut to your brain. That's why it's so important to keep your body fit, and your food in your body is healthy, because that's when you will receive, right? Is when you are taking care of your vessel at the highest level, right? You are putting organic foods in your body. You are moving your body daily. You are getting the oxytocin and the serotonin and the dopamine up to your brain, and you are literally taking a happy pill by nature's beautiful happy pill. That is the start of how to receive. If you are not taking care of your body is your vessel. If your emotional well-being cannot be okay if your body is okay. I'm going to say that again. If you're not taking care of your body as the primary source of who you are, your emotional well-being can't be okay. if you're not taking care of your mind and your unconscious beliefs of your childhood and changing who you are, you're not going to receive at the level that you need to. You can come to the observer. You can go back into your past. You can look at who your role models were as the masculine and the feminine. Was it a wounded masculine or was it a wounded feminine? Was it a divine masculine or a divine feminine? And that's our next step, right? From that space, we get to understand that we get a choice. We get to receive. We get to move into the space of our energetic fields. Our energetic fields are these beautiful gifts of hubs of emotions that are stored in there. And I talk about this all the time on this channel. The electromagnetic fields is how you attract. You are a magnet. You are manifesting and receiving all day, every day. But what you are receiving is what is going on in your internal world. So your reality or your perceived reality looks like whatever it is that is going on in your outside world. You want to know what's going on inside? Look what's going on outside. If something is going on outside of you that you don't like and you're not receiving in the way that you want, that's because you are not doing the inner work. And I say that so often, right? And so we're not going to go into the chakra system right now because that's a whole another segment of balancing the chakra systems. And I will put a link to that in the descriptions. If you guys want a heart opener and you want a chakra clearing, I'll put a link to that in the descriptions below. But right now, we're going to talk about the heart's energy. And the heart energy is the most important thing in receiving. It is such a beautiful, beautiful gift. We just got really light out as I said that. And so it is such a beautiful, beautiful gift when you have an open heart. When you have an open heart and you have space mentally, physically, and energetically for receiving. That's when the universe works with you, right? And says, oh, she's ready. She's ready. Oh, look. She cleared her closet out. She cleaned up our car. She cleaned up our house. She's ready to receive this. So I'm going to tell you a quick little story about my mind hacks, right? You guys know that I'm a quantum energy trainer and I work into the quantum fields, and I do pretty crazy work into the quantum fields. And so my relationship with receiving is pretty interesting because I just expect things to happen. I really do. But I'm okay when they're not. I don't put a story around them, right? And so a couple things. There was a couple things. I mean, I literally have things that come up in my life all the time. I moved and I wanted this beautiful house in this exact location where I wanted to be, my kid's school, close to the soccer, everything. I moved and it was just this beautiful experience. And it was kind of fell into my lap, right? My bed, it was literally, it was like in the middle of COVID and I wanted this bed. I wanted this king size canopy bed and it was so beautiful and so amazing. And it was COVID and nobody was delivering anything and it was like forever, right? And I was just like, yeah, I don't like that. It's going to be 8 weeks before I'm going to get my bed. So I literally was like, okay, universe, what are we going to do? So I tapped into the electromagnetic fields, right? And that's what I do. So your electro is your thoughts and your magnetic fields is your heightened sense of emotion. So how do you receive? You first have to, one, believe it's possible. And then two, you have to have a single point intention. You have to believe it's possible. And from that space, you have to clear the resistance, which is what we talked about in the first segment, is that you have resistance to receiving, right? And then you have to, you have to believe, you have to connect to the energy of it. And I'm going to explain how to do that in just a minute. We're going to do a heart opener in just a minute. And then you have to detach, right? So with this bed and with my car, literally, I mean, this week, same thing, my car, my house, my bed, 3 things within probably a couple months of each other. I was literally like, okay, so it's COVID. I don't want to, I'm not waiting for, a bed. I'm just not, that's not how I do life. Right. So I went into my thought process and I was like, okay, what is going on? I love this bed. I found the bed I wanted. And so then I went to the store and I literally was like, oh man, my bed's like $3,000. I don't want to spend $3,000 on my bed. It's 8 weeks. I don't understand. And so I go into the store and I've already set the intention. I've already done the steps of manifesting, right? I've already done everything. At this point, I had to take inspired action, which is the final step after, before you detach, right? So I'm taking the inspired action. I'm going to this store and I literally was like, okay, so I want this bed. It's in the middle of COVID. It's 8 weeks. It's $3,000. I don't really want to spend $3,000. I don't want to wait 8 weeks. So I walked in, and then I walked into the blooper section of the store, and I was like, wait, there's my bed. Literally. And it was like $600. I'm not even kidding you guys. And there was nothing wrong with it. And I said to the gentleman that was the salesman, and I said, is this bed for sale? And they said, yes. And I said, well, what's wrong with it? They said, nothing. It was just a floor model and we can't sell it. And I said, it's only $600, but it's $3,000. And I said, there's nothing wrong with it. They said, no. And I said, oh, but I know that you guys have to deliver it, right? And that's like 8 weeks. And he goes, no, well, since it's the bloopers, you have to literally go through this company, and the guy's name is Carlos, and it takes about 3 weeks to even get in touch with Carlos. He's never really around, but I could put your name on a waiting list. And so I literally was like, oh, okay. And then he turns around and he's like, but wait, there's Carlos right there. And I was like, oh, hi, Carlos. And he goes, I was like, this bed, it's going to take 3 weeks for delivery. And he said, yeah, no, I just actually had somebody cancel today. And I was like, oh, how much is delivery? Is it going to be a couple $100s? He's like, no, it's like, we're going to close in like 5 minutes. I literally, I'll take it to your house right now for $100. So I got my $3,000 bed that was going to be 8 weeks. That was going to be $300 for delivery. I got it for $600. I got it for delivered that day. And some random guy named Carlos just happened to show up in my life. Same thing with my car. I woke up and I was like, I want a white Jeep Cherokee in my driveway. I don't want to do anything. I hate a car salesman. I went on to Carvana and my car is literally in my driveway, right? Guys, that's receiving. It is, and that's the energy of receiving. You get to play with the electromagnetic fields. You get to do that, right? So you set single point intention, and from the space of single point intention, what you do is that you understand that's exactly what I want. I'm very clear on what I want. Right? I believe it's possible. Of course, I manifest all day, every day. So I know it's possible. Right. And from that space, I had to clear anything behind it. Right. And so I had to clear, it's easy for me to manifest all of those things with people. Relationships were my hard point, because that was, I had a really terrible relationship with my father, so I really didn't trust men. So I can manifest things very easily, but my relationship was more work, right? So I had to go in, I had to do more internal work on the relationship aspect of it. From that space, I took inspired action. You always have to take inspired action. If you think you can just sit and meditate and have things receive and show up, they do when you're in alignment with it, right? But when you're not in alignment, you have to fill in the grid, as Abraham says, right? You have to continue to do the work. You have to fill in the grid, right? So in that space, you detach. I don't care. It's like I know it's either going to come in that form or something better, right? And if it comes in something better, then it's even better than what I expected. So there's an infinite field of possibilities that we get to work with. And the universe wants to give you all of the blessings in this world. You just have to be open to receiving. So what you have to do, what I started to do when I wanted to be in the relationship of my dreams, I started to clear my closet. I started to, make space. I started to really evaluate my life and say, I haven't allowed people in because of my kids were my party, my business or a party, right? And that, my man is all the way down. It's God, source, universe, me, my kids, my business, their schedule, and then my man. And so I had to do that work. And guys, once you understand that it's an energetic game with the universe that you get to play and experience, and receiving what you want is an energetic game. It is. It's just an energetic game. And my coach, Regan Hillier, says it all the time. Money's an energetic game, but so is receiving everything else. So I want you to now, if you're driving, please watch this a little bit later, but we're going to open up your heart space. You have to clear the physical space first. Figure out your single point intention. Clear the physical space out. Whether it's a car, clear out your garage. Whether it is a man, clear out, or a woman, or either. Do the outer work first, right? Okay, so what do I have to do there? I have to set the space, and I have to I have to have a clear intention. This is what I want. I have to open up the space for that, right? physically you have to do something. There's something physically you have to do. Then I have to open up this space emotionally. I have to go in and say, "Ooh, okay. I had a fear of commitment, and because of my divorce and because of my dad and everything. So I really wasn't letting people in. So being with somebody that was emotionally unavailable was okay for me because I was safe in that space." Right? That's raw and real with myself, with you guys. And if you're not raw and real with yourself, how's the universe ever going to give you exactly what you want? Right? And so clear the emotional space. Go in. Set a time, create a beautiful sacred space. I have a space upstairs. My bedroom is my sacred space. My office is my sacred space. I mean, it is so, my home is really sacred, actually. My whole home is sacred. But create a sacred space where you could do the inner work. Get raw and real with you. Where are you compared to where you want to be, right? Because it's that you cannot occupy that same space at the same time. Clear whatever you need to. The fear, the anger, the hurt, the sadness, the guilt, the shame, whatever it is behind that. The emotions of, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not safe, secure, and protected, I'm not whole and complete. Then you get to do the energetic work, right? And for those of you that know me or follow me, you're going to be doing more energetic work again. So take a moment right now and just take a moment and get into a quiet space. Go someplace quiet. Take a moment and drop the energy from your head down into your heart and just take a deep breath in and feel your heart beating. Go into your heart space. Spend some time in your heart space. Welcome it. Clear out whatever needs to be cleared out, whether it's energetically, emotionally, physically. There's past traumas in your life that are holding you back. They're energetically stored in your body. Allow that to just flow through you and be in that space right now. Be in that space of you and your heart. Feel what it's like to expand your heart. I want you to literally feel your heart expanding now as I'm speaking. The energy of your heart is the most important energy that you can work with. It is the most dominant energy in your fields. Take a deep breath in and just drop into your heart space. And imagine your heart just expanding and expanding and expanding. And it's expanding beyond your body now, beyond the room that you're in. Go even further and expand out to the world. And see how you feel as it's expanding. Are you scared? Allow that fear to come up. Go even further into your heart space and keep expanding out to the universe and just feel the universal love in this time right now for you. Take a deep breath in and connect to that universal love. You are love. You are light. You are powerful. You are beautiful. You are divinity. All in one. Take a deep breath in and feel that inside your heart space. And pull that energy from the universe, God, source, back into the earth. And as it's coming through the earth, come back into your room. Come back into your body and feel your heart expanding. Feel your heart beating. Understand the stories that you have made around love, around money, around literally living the life of your dreams. Make a conscious choice to do something different. And just listen. Take a deep breath in and feel the energy of your heart. What does your heart want? What do you want? What do you truly want? Allow that to be in your heart for just a moment. And as you're in that space, knowing with clear intention of what you want, and you see the obstacles, I want you to understand that it is your choice to move through these obstacles or not. Feel what is coming up. Honor what is coming up. And make a choice to move through it. And from that space, I want you to imagine, I'm going to invite in a different energy of your future self, the version of yourself that you know is your greatest desire. And that energy is coming towards you, and it's coming closer and closer inside your heart. And from that space, it merges with you, and you are becoming one with that energy. Take a deep breath in and feel the energy of your desire. What does it feel like for you to be doing that? Who are you with? What are you wearing? What are the sounds around you? What are you eating? Merge with that energy and feel from all that you are that it is possible. Take a minute in this space and understand that there is an infinite amount of possibilities, and the universe loves you so much. Moving back into your heart space, and you're pulling that energy into your heart and receiving all of the love, and a beautiful ball of light is over your head, and it is just a golden ray of light, and it is pouring over you, and it is golden waterfall going into your DNA, your RNA, going back into your Akashic records and clearing everything that is blocking you from your heart's desire. Take a deep breath in and know that you are loved. You are worthy. You are good enough. You are safe in this moment, and you are whole and complete. From this space, I want you to now move into your heart again. Take a deep breath in and feel your heart space. Connect to your body and know that it is possible, because you are deserving and you are loved. And when you're ready, just allow that to move throughout your entire body, wiggling your hands and your feet and your toes, feeling how loved you are. You are a gift to this world, and there is nothing, whether it is something material or something emotional or something energetic, there is nothing that you cannot have. The greatest gift of all is within you. You are a part of God, Source, and the universe. You are here to experience this beautiful gift of life. Taking a deep breath in and coming back to you. And from this space, just know it's done. The greatest gift in the world now is gratitude. And that's what I'm going to talk about, is filling your heart with so much gratitude in this moment right now. Not just gratitude for life and living, but the specifics of life, the gratitude of your desire already being accomplished. Filling your heart with thankfulness and gratefulness and gratitude and joy and love. It feels so good. It feels warm. It feels loved. If you feel amazing, you feel beautiful. You feel like you are. Every ounce of you is divinity. With gratitude comes detachment. Because when you're already grateful for everything that you have and everything that's to come, there's nothing that's needed. From this space, just open your eyes. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for being here. I want to talk to you about gratitude and how important it is to have gratitude in your life. Not gratitude from the place of, oh my gosh, I'm very grateful. I have life, I have food. Gratitude of every ounce of your life. I set my world up like this on purpose because I am so grateful. I am grateful for you. I'm grateful for me. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my love. I'm grateful for my life of travel, my TV show. I'm grateful that I get to teach quantum physics out to the world. But I am so grateful for every aspect of my life. Gratitude is the highest vibration on the planet, guys. And when you connect to gratitude, you connect to service. And that's the next final piece. You detach from your desire. You fill your heart with gratitude. And you come from a place of service. You get to help people. You get to help someone else because your cup is full. You get to show someone love. You get to love someone. You get to receive. You get to give and receive love. It is this beautiful, even exchange of energy. And when you understand how much you receive from service, your mind will be blown. There's always somebody out there that has it worse than you. And I promise you guys, if you get out of self-pity and you get out of the victim and you move into the space of love and gratitude, and you move into the space of understanding that you get to help humanity in some way today. How can I be better today? Me being better today is going to help my kids. Me being in a better mood today is going to help my kids. Me clearing the space that I needed to clear, getting organized. So I cleared my physical space so that way I'm allowing it in. Do you understand that when you live your life from your heart space and you receive, there is nothing that can stop you? When you are in your heart's power, when you are in your heart space, when you are in the energy of love, agape love at the highest realm, there is nothing that can stop you. There is nothing that can stop humanity. There is nothing. There is always going to be dark, but through the dark is always the light. I choose light always. I manifest the life of my dream always. Why? Because we get to be connected to God. We get to be connected to our purpose. We get to be connected to our heart's energy. And we get to receive from a place of love, from a place of gratitude, from a place of joy, from a place of everything that you've ever imagined. It's all there for you. It's within you. Guys, if all of this resonated with you, please like it and share, subscribe, because my entire gift to this world is for you to live a better life, to live the life that you've always dreamed of, to receive love, to receive abundance, to receive health. Go to noelleagape.com if you want more. And we have so much more for you. We have free things. We have coaches. We have health. We have wellness. We have consciousness. We have chakra clearings. We have energetic work. We have all that you need at noelleagape.com. It is all within you. And when you understand the power of receiving is nothing more than the power of love, that is when your life gets to be magic. When you understand that you are love, you are powerful, you are beautiful, you are the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and you are balanced, and you know in your space of your heart, and you expand that out, and you come from service and love at the highest level, unconditional love and gratitude, your world will change. I love you guys, and I know with my soul that it is all within you. I'll see you in the next video.